Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Anaheim Karnevalsgesellschaft 55th anniversary dinner and carnival opening for 2020-2021 carnival season. Yes, we finally made it to the ballroom. We finally made it to our banquet. After March, there was a big question whether we would have this event. And I gotta give a shout out to the 55 people who kept their tickets open all the way through. And I specifically want to thank our president, Linda Croissant, because she made it possible, working diligently, and albeit with somewhat of a friendship with the Orange County Health Department, to make sure that this could be pulled off. So we want to thank her very much for her assistance, and for the staff here that is working essentially shorthanded tonight. I want to recognize them as well. Now, the theme for this season is, of course, pandemic related. If you've seen one of our members with their orden, it features basically a carnivalist with a 6-foot barrier all the way around where the girls with the beers can't even approach it. Now, there are some rules that we do have to adhere to, so I'll get through it right now. If you're up, you have to wear a mask. If you're sitting at your table with a drink, with food, you're fine, no mask. Do you know why that is? That's because COVID does not drop below 5 feet. It hates alcohol and it abhors food. So as long as you have a drink in your hand, a bite in your mouth, and you're sitting down, all is good. That means we are in compliance. Which will tell you, when you see the elf rod later sitting down with beers, they too will be in compliance. I gotta tell you, this is kind of a nice thing sitting for opening. It's almost like being at a newscaster's desk looking out at everybody. Now, I don't know if he has arrived, but one of the items of business that we were bringing up tonight is our Verdienst Orden. Our Verdienst Orden is given to a member who has contributed constantly over the years, albeit in dance performance and leadership within the group, and just support for the group in working things, decorations, you name it, they've done it. This year we had 2 outstanding nominees. I mean, frankly, we have them each year. This year was a particularly tight vote. And this year, the Verdienst Orden is going to Gary Bonnie. Gary, are you here? If he isn't, well, that's Gary. He's traditionally an hour and a half late. So one of the things that we now have to present to you is a march-in of our past Prinzenpars. So if you have been a past Prinzenpar, please make your way back to the entrance. We will be staging you and we will be calling you in. We actually have representatives of our Prinzenpar from the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s, 2010, and as of today, 2020. So we're represented across the decades in our 56th carnival season. So Prinzenpars, please make your way back. Richard Lund will help you organize in your order, and we will bring you in. You will be marching in, coming to the front of the stage, marching around in a U, and returning to your seats. If you didn't notice our Prinzengarde tonight, they are wearing matching masks with their names. That was part because they were thinking about a dance that they would remove the masks and they needed to know whose was which once they got back on. That's for Katie, the dance captain. Katie is also now the group leader of the Anaheim Karnevalsgesellschaft. So that means, Christine, you know that that's the one you have to contact when you need things from the club. Yeah, okay. So it looks like we're ready to go with our first Prinzengarde. And our first Prinzengarde is Gusti Herger. Yes, Lucy is from 1969 as our Prinzessin. Our next Prinzengarde, Margie Bowerman, escorted by her son Manfred Bowerman, our last year's Prince. Margie was Prinzessin in 1979. Our next Prinzengarde is Gisela Simmons. Gisela was Prinzessin in 1985. Now she's not marching in, however, Jutta Cronin, our Prinzessin from 1990 over at the bar table over there. Big hand for Jutta. Our next Prinzessin is Cynthia Wallace. Cynthia was princess in 1992. Our next Prinzengarde is Walzer Lupka. Walzer was our prince in 1993. Our next Prinzengarde is Rob Linneman. Rob was prince in 1998. Our next Prinzengarde that I have is Hans and Margita Leeds. Hans and Margita were Prinzengarde in 1999.
We're still in the 2000s, and the next princess is Ingrid Simmons the First. More music, please. Ingrid was princess in 2003 and 2004. Our next prince and princess is, of course, our Altross president, Mark and Heidi Davis. Mark and Heidi were princess in the 2006-2007 season. Coming up next, we have Richard and Virginia Lund. Known to frequently travel around the world, Richard and Virginia Lund are enjoying a nice trip. Not necessarily represented was, just so it's on the list, is Jeremy Bonnie the First, because we're moving into the 2010s. So our princess is Mona Lubka the First Martinand. Mona was princess in 2012-2013, and she's thrown into the crowd. Next up, also in the 2010 to 2013-14, is Kurt Holtman and Marita, otherwise known as Mark Davis again.
And the chairs have changed again as we introduce our next prince and par. Joseph I and Diana, Joseph II and Diana II Spaziano. They were prince and par in 2014, which was our 50th anniversary. Prince and par is Daniel Friedel the First and Nicole Hauptmann the First. They were prince and par in 2017, and they also are the only couple to ever have an animal, a horse, on the photo cover of the Narn Clock. Our next prince and par, Patrick Gandhi the First and Letty Lenore the First. They were prince and par in 2018. And now, ladies and gentlemen, our final prince and par for this evening is, of course, our Prince and Par from last season. We are bringing them, they will parade one more time through the ballroom, and then they will be brought up to be decrowned. Always a sad time, but here they are, one final time. Prince Manfred II and Princess Kirsten I, our Prince and Par for the 2019 and our 55th Carnival season. This is, of course, the sad time for them as a Prince and Par couple, but I know they had a wonderful time, just like that. They had a wonderful time as Kinder Prince and Par so many years ago. And they came forward for our 55th season, had a wonderful time, were a wonderful Prince and Par. We thank you very, very much. And while I have to take your items that you cherish so much during your royal reign, I do have some things to give back. So first, Prince, your scepter. Princessin, your crown. You got it. She definitely has to help me. I'm literally just holding on to it.
All fine.
Oh. See, that's why I'm not home. Prince, your hat. You're not. Oh, we're having Raker on so early. This is for you. If there was ever a party gift, what it says is, let it be known that Manfred Bauerman, known as Prince Manfred II, and Kirsten Walzer, known as Princess Kirsten I, reigned during the Carnival season of 2019-2020 at the Phoenix Club, Anaheim, California, given with much gratitude by the Anaheim Karnevalsgesellschaft at the Phoenix Club, presented on this day, the 14th day of November, 2020. Now, some parting words, and you have plenty of time. All right.
I have food at the table too, so it's fine. All right, well, welcome everybody to Carnival 2020. Yeah, we should clap because that's always, it's amazing that we are all here, that we're able to be here. Well, I've been dead for about, since March, but then again, starting April, everyone else has been locked up and pretty much dead and buried too this year, so I really haven't missed much. But I just want to welcome everybody and thank you all for coming. We had a great time last year. It was an amazing time, 2019, 2020. We made it just in the nick of time, I think, before the entire world kind of went crazy. But yeah, the next Prince and Princess, I think, I just would like to wish them good luck. I think it's, even though the way this year has gone for everybody, it's still an amazing year. I think there's really no rules anymore, so, I think it's a great time to just have fun, let loose, break some traditions, and, have a good time. That's what we're all here for, right? And that's what Carnival's for. So, thank you, everybody. I don't know, would you like to say?
Thank you, everyone who made it out.
like Freddie said, we just had a really great time the whole season, and everybody helped make it really special. When we could have all our friends and family come to our events and spend time with us and enjoy it. So I just want to say to the next Prince and Princess as well, you're definitely going to have an interesting year, I think, and it'll be lots of fun. So if everyone wants to join me in a Phoenix, hello! Phoenix, hello! Phoenix, hello!
And I can say you will always be Prince and Par in our hearts. And it's great to have you involved in the group. And by the way, if you didn't make it to Lumpenball, Freddie did an amazing dance. It was really something to be there for. For me, it was a highlight of the season. I want to thank you for all the effort you put into it. So, Katie, can we have an honor guard from the stage for our Prince and Par? Oh, Mike, this is, thank you very much, Mona. And thank you very much for bringing the flowers, as you always do. Mona Lupka does a great job for our flowers each season. Kirsten, a parting gift. Okay. Jody is on top of it. At this time, we are moving into dinner service. Dinner service will start immediately. So have your tickets out and we'll be ready to go. And the official program and the crowning of our new Prince and Par will happen at 8:11. Eagles and a 747. Eyewitnesses report that the reindeer in Spain was hit mainly by the plane. In Hollywood, 95-year-old producer Fred Scafizzi was found not guilty of sexual harassment. The 95-year-old, however, was arraigned on charges of assault with a dead weapon. This just in, Beverly Hills 90210, Cleveland Browns 3. Disaster at the LA Zoo when the snake pit was accidentally filled in. Said the zoo director, "It's a terrible, terrible situation. Now the snakes don't even have a pit to hiss in." Before his passing, famous playboy Hugh Hefner was able to stop an order of monks from operating a business on his property. The police forced the friars to close down their stand outside the Playboy mansion where they'd been selling flowers. Said a police spokesperson, "If it had been anyone else, they may have gotten away with it. As we know, only Hugh can prevent florist friars." This just in, wives live longer than husbands because they're not married to women. Hollywood was saddened today when the famous chicken Foghorn Leghorn died at the age of 65. Memorial services will be held this Tuesday, after which the deceased will be served with a zesty orange sauce. The hitman, Jimmy Two Shoes McCarty, was arraigned today after he confessed to killing that he had been once hired to beat a cow to death in a rice field using only 2 small porcelain figures. Police admit this is the first known case of a knick-knack paddywhack. The great Jamboni, eccentric human cannonball, known for taking his lucky donkey to all his performances, escaped near tragedy today when the donkey climbed into the cannon muzzle just as Jamboni was taking off. It took the surgeons 3 hours to remove Jamboni's head from his ass. Disaster struck today at a ceiling fan convention when the scheduled entertainment, Dr. Linguini and his trampolining sheep hit the floor. According to one eyewitness, everything was fine until one extremely high bounce and the sheet hit the fan. According to a scientific report, men think about sex every 6 seconds, and because... Unfortunately, everything really happened today at 3:14, so we have nothing to tell you. The news this evening, though, is being brought to you by the new Italian suppository, innuendo. 9 out of 10 Americans believe that out of 10 people, 1 American will always disagree with the other 9. This just in, sucking up still gets you ahead in business. After a disappointing summer, Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. The 60s musical group The Byrds announced a 24-city reunion tour with their new band member, George W. Bush. It was noted Mr. Bush will play guitar and drums. According to a spokesperson, a Bush in the band is worth 2 in the Byrds. Donors are wanted today from men whose buttocks are blown off in industrial accidents. Hospital administrators report that donations are a little behind with no end in sight. From the stock market, helium prices up. A fight started today in downtown by a man wearing a suit completely made of mirrors. After speaking with them, police said the man apologized once he had a chance to change or sit down and reflect. A would-be bank robber is in critical condition after swallowing $250,000 in small bills. No change is expected. Noted archaeologist Fred Flintstein made an amazing discovery today in Sweden on a windswept fjord when he came across some primitive musical instruments plus minuscule deposits of fossilized stool. When asked what the stool could be, Flintstein replied, "A dabba-abba-doo." This just in, a man swallowed whole by a whale escaped by running as hard as he could until he was all pooped out. Thanksgiving today was announced from Sacramento that if you have more than 3 members of different households, you could be sanctioned and fined. Governor Newsom thought so much of himself by passing this, he wants to change the day to Thanksgavin Day. I can tell you that will be the name of my bird, and I will really enjoy stuffing it this year. Well, that's the news. We'll see you later. So I believe the damen are changing right now, so we will take a 10-minute break for restroom, bar service, or if you would like to come up and have a photograph taken in front of our Princeton car, Wilma is ready with her camera. Please come up and she'll snap a photo of you with them in the background. And the great thing is they're not wearing masks, so the photo will look great. You won't look great, but they'll look great. So 10 minutes, everybody. Okay, well, it looks like we have a quorum of Elfrod. So we will move on to our next performance from the Damen Review. The Damen are cooking up something special tonight. They're here to scare away any bad vibes and to shake things up a bit. Damen are performing to the music Schüttel deinen Speck. The English translation, shake your bacon.
Schütteln ihr Gold auf den Rücken, vor den Rücken. Die Maraten suchen im Takt zu nicken. Hey Barmann, mix mir was zusammen. Der schüttelt rein bis zum Rand. Ein Riesenhit drückt mich an die Wand. Der DJs schüttelt ihm die Hand. Vielen Dank, es fehlt und wankt. Alle drehen sich um, sehen sie an. Ziel ist 2 Wochen elegant. Sie tanzen mir wie ein schöner Edelmann. Mama, zeig mir dein Gepäck. Baby, komm, schüttel Buch und Heck. Leipzig ist gut gedeckt. Schüttel dein Speck ab. Mama, zeig mir dein Gepäck. Baby, komm, schüttel Buch und Heck. Leipzig ist gut gedeckt. Schüttel dein Speck ab. 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 Ja, dein Tisch ist fein gedeckt. Ich brauch kein Besteck. Lecker, du musst dich beißen lassen. Schmück lecker, back auf dein heißen Back. Dein Toaster wackelt auf und ab. Dein Obst ist knackig, frisch verpackt. Feinste Zufel, groß und kompakt. Du schüttelst mich nicht ab. Ich häng mich an dein Lippenrock. Ich häng an dein Lippengloss. Du bist schön und schlau, du studierter Bock. Bitte wer meine Frau, du schüttelst den Kopf. Ich schüttel dich zu, denn das ist hart für mich. Kind aus dem Schulqualität ertragen mich. Ich krieg Schüttel vors, du bist der Arzt für mich. Gib mir bitte schüttel deinen Arsch für mich. Mama, zeig mir dein Gepäck. Baby, komm, schüttel Buch und Heck. Leipzig ist gut gedeckt. Schüttel dein Speck ab. Schüttel dein Speck ab. Mama, zeig mir dein Gepäck. Baby, komm, schüttel Buch und Heck. Leipzig ist gut gedeckt. Schüttel dein Speck ab. Schüttel dein Speck ab.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's give them 3 Phoenix hellos. Phoenix, hello. Phoenix, hello. Phoenix, hello. Okay, well, we have what is going to be our final Schunkel of the evening, and it's not really a Schunkel. It's considered our anthem here in Anaheim. It is Hemden zum Himmel. Normally, we would stand for this, but we're going to sit because it's just the same. You're going to have just the same amount of fun. You'll be able to drink at the same time too. DJ Kirsten. for you is, you may have seen the Narrenblatts on your table. These were from last year. This year we are not printing the Narrenblatt. That's simply because certain things happened and, well, you got to cut corners somewhere. We do have it going up online. It will be online, and it will be at www.anaheimkg.com. So it's not up yet for the person who's putting it up, but it will be up. And I also want to thank at this time the person who runs our website. He's sitting down in the audience, Mark Martian, running our website. Thank you very much. And on the back of the sheets, many of you may have noticed, some of you may not, but the program tonight, if you flip it over, it has the events that we have for this season. The one thing that we have become famous for the past few years is having Pirate Ball, but due to the certain uncertainty of next year, we are changing it to Costume Ball, because last year we set a record level of nearly 600 people at Pirate Ball. And we don't think Governor Gabby's going to let us have something that big this year, next year. Thank you. Yes, yes, boo, boo, please boo. It's not for me, it's for him, so thank you. Yes, if we were in the middle of his winery, we could definitely have the event there. So, thank you very much for coming. We still have time till 10 p.m. when the event officially ends, so please stay, talk, drink, have a good time. We would love to see you here if you can make it in January for Prunksitzung and our other events. And if I don't see many of you between now and then, have a happy Thanksgiving, a very Merry Christmas, and a wonderful New Year.